Yeah, right, guys. Welcome to my channel, Crypto Tyke here, the inflation avoider. And yeah, everything looking not great again for crypto. And a bit of recent news with Blackrock, who have moved some of their Bitcoin over to Coinbase. Now, this could more be to do with ETFs than anything else and nothing to worry about, but at the same time it could be a sale. Now, it doesn't account for much of their crypto Bitcoin holding, but all the same, if it is for that reason, it does suggest that people are seeing storm clouds incoming, as I've been mentioning before. And the current price, well, it did dip below 104k. Again, it's just more depressing news for people who hold crypto, and especially alts as well, because just nothing seems to be going our way, especially for people who are long-term holders. Now, what you want is a bit of volatility when you're trading, but for people like myself, not necessarily ideal. However, I'm not too worried about things as it goes, because it does just mean more buying opportunities on the horizon. But I just think anybody that's saying to people who are investing in crypto as opposed to trading that they should be buying right now are severely misguided. It is just a good way to get burnt at the moment. Things are on edge, storm clouds are coming in, and we just don't know which way the market is going to go at the moment, and it's probably just better to wait it out and see which way it decides to go before making any moves. So if it does go down, well, we want to have a better picture of whether it is going to be going down in a major way, which Bitcoin being below 100,000, well, that could be a catalyst for altcoins to start to plummet as the market gets nervous. So, it's always vulnerable, and I don't fancy buying altcoins right now under those circumstances. The old saying about catching a falling knife rings very, very true at the moment, and probably has been true for the last few weeks as well for anybody that has been buying, myself included. Only small buys, but I'm looking at prices now thinking, yeah, there's some good bargains to be had, but also realizing that, well, that might be for a good reason, and those bargains might not look as great bargains at the end of the week that they did at the start of the week or the end of last week. Talking about, well, pretty much anything out there at the moment. Solana is one that is dipping back right into that buying region again, and again looks like it still has momentum to fall should Bitcoin dip below 100,000, and we are now getting much closer to that 100,000 mark than we are any 125,000. So I'm leaning towards things getting worse before they get better, but then I usually am a prophet of doom, but that's just me. And yeah, unfortunately, things just not going as we planned. A lot of people questioning the 4-year cycle altogether, and there are good arguments about that. Even I look at it and think, well, it can't just all be tied to the Bitcoin halving, and just there isn't enough data to suggest that is going to keep repeating every 4 years anyway. So there's a lot that we just do not know and we cannot predict. So to be bullish and saying like buy, I think that is just naive, if anything, if not foolish. It is one of them situations where I'd like to know whether the prices are going to get lower before I start buying again, or whether they're going to push up or not. And if they push up, so be it. I am well positioned as it is. I've got a lot of what I already need. So I'm not in any major rush to make a decision right now. And I don't think right now is a good time to be making those decisions. Just wait, watch. And if you're patient, then you'll hopefully be rewarded. There's no guarantees, though, is there? That's the thing. But that just means hopefully some of the things we did buy before things started looking dicey again will come good sooner rather than later. So for every downside, there's an upside, and that is the beauty of trading. That is the beauty of crypto. Like I say, I'm not a trader, and I'm more an investor, so it is long-term anyway. But let me know in the comments how you're finding it. Are you going in and buying right now? I've heard some people, the usual voices about Casper going, oh yeah, buy, and it's like, no, things can still go down. And it seems to be a lesson some people never seem to learn. Every time the price drops, they have to buy more, and the price drops again, and they buy more. And then when a decent drop happens, like that one when it happened in the crash, they didn't have the liquidity to buy when they could have bought their entire supply like I did. I managed to get it at 2 cents, and now I've got limit orders loaded and ready to go should such a thing repeat. So all of that has to be taken into consideration, and while there's uncertainty and things the way they are, there's always a chance something bizarre could happen again. So I'm not going to be writing that off and, wasting all the dry powder that I've got just to take advantage of prices as they are when it looks very likely that things could go down. But I understand with crypto, you can never be sure of things like that because they have a habit of surprising you. And sometimes it's got to work on a good way rather than it being a negative way and being a down. So who knows? The market could just pump out of the blue. But I think at the moment people are looking a bit reluctant, and that Blackrock move, although not a major thing, it is just something to note up and keep an eye on, see what's happening, why they've moved that to Coinbase. Like I said, it could just be to do with the ETFs. But if they are planning on selling, even though it's not a big proportion of what they hold, it is just another indicator that there's more selling on the way. And sometimes people like Blackrock selling can unsettle other people and cause more selling. So it's not necessarily their selling that'll do the damage, it is what follows from that. So yeah, it's just a bit, it is. I can only describe it as like when you see the storm clouds gathering. And I mean, if you've ever been in that situation where you just watch, I was once in Australia, in Sydney on Bondi Beach, and it was beautifully sunny, and you could just see these storm clouds just coming towards you. You're just watching it incoming, and you can see what's going to happen in real time. And within minutes, it had made it all the way over and dumped all the rain and thunder and everything on us straight away, and that was it, off back home. And that is how the crypto market is looking a little bit at the moment. Little signals, little signs, things like that are just like, this doesn't look good. And people are getting less and less confident as well, which doesn't help either. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm just watching, seeing what happens. I'm not intending on buying until anything is confirmed, and that is the way I roll. I'm happy as ever to buy in fear and extreme fear, but even looking at the fear and greed index, it's not that majorly in fear. The last time I checked it, it wasn't. Anyway, it was like between fear and neutral, very close, and that's just shit, really. I am either going to buy in extreme fear when everybody starts panicking, or I'm going to buy in fear, but I am not going to buy when the prices are looking like this and it's as close to neutral as you can get it. So not good buying conditions at the moment. No need to waste the dry powder. Always a chance of a major shock with the prices dropping. That aftershock that I mentioned a while back, well, this could be the aftershock on the horizon, and we see somewhat of a similar repeat. It might not be the same magnitude, but something similar, which will present, if you've got limit orders ready to go, buying opportunities to pick up some real bargains. And that is, at the moment, all I'm set for, waiting, and we will look at the situation in the coming days, maybe next week, see what's materialized, and then I'll make decisions on whether I want to start buying again. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. It really helps with the algorithm. It's just my outlook on things. Obviously, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and it's just how I see things at the moment. Things could always change, and things can change fast, as we know, in crypto and the way the world is at the moment. Anyway, guys, do hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already subscribed. And if you have, hit the bell icon if you haven't already as well. It'll update you of any new videos. I'll try and keep you posted with what I'm up to. Just a little update from a personal point of view. That MRI that I went for on Friday. The good news is no news. So I would imagine if it was anything major now, they would have been in touch either on the Saturday, which I've seen happen before with something else, not me, or on the Monday, and they weren't. They contacted me today to make an appointment with the doctor, and they says they will call me on Thursday. So that is good news. No major rush or anything like that. So fingers crossed for me on that one. And that's about everything, really. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.